Gayatri Mahamantra with your back straight, both hands upon your laps, left beneath the right, contemplative mode. Om Bhur Bhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. In our ongoing series of mystical Gayatri Mahamantra, we are on the part 10. Today we shall conclude by mentioning merely two more kriyas, the acts, the rituals, small rituals that need to be performed before starting japa in order to gather your awareness to one particular point. The scattered awareness unknowingly keeps on wandering into many avenues, many portions. In order to draw it to one particular point, in single word to term it as one pointedness, it is necessary that we get engaged into certain acts, certain rituals that help us gather our fragmented awareness. In the past two episodes, the mention about these rituals has been moving further, and today it shall conclude. Let me reiterate, as I mentioned before I proceed, as it was done during the earlier two episodes as well, that it's not necessary for a beginner to get engaged into these rituals. One may simply take a bath, sit down with purity instilled within, and start japa. Of course, if it comforts you to start initially with these kriya, these rituals, then you should. But you may give yourself some time to adapt to your practice of japa, and then you can further move on in order to evolve, graduate towards the rituals. So that is left exclusively upon the seeker. Now, the foremost ritual, the foremost kriya act that we are going to talk today is about the pranayam. For pranayam, there needs a mention before you simply understand it as a breathing pattern or a breathing exercise. Apparently, it is a breathing exercise. Yes, it is. But is it that alone? No, it is not at all that alone. Prana must be understood before giving it a discipline is considered as a something which can be enjoined with it. Unless you understand prana, you cannot enjoin or cannot affix discipline to it. Giving it merely a discipline in the way of a pattern of breathing, a cycle of breathing, shall certainly help you to breathe in and breathe out in a rhythmic manner, but shall not benefit you of the prana. Although the detail, the mentioning, the understanding of prana needs a while before one can comprehend it easily, but still a mention must be made so that it suffices our requirement at this moment. Prana is a highly sensitive and intelligent substance. Yes, it is energy. There is no doubt about that. It's highly sensitive and intelligent, which means that unless invoked through a strong intent and guided thereafter, the prana in its own eccentricity, is it eccentric? No, it's a substance. It's not eccentric at all, but it's like writing a program of software wherein you have to mention all those details that you want the application to incorporate. You cannot leave it upon the program that it shall further devise itself according to your wish. No, it has to be programmed to the every last bit of it. And similarly, likewise, for prana as well, you cannot leave upon prana unless you invoke it, you establish it, and you also accomplish whatever you want from prana, the invoked prana. Unless all through there is an intent guiding prana, prana by itself shall not accomplish, and by the natural course, it shall simply wither away. It shall go out from you, dissipate. So, when it is said prana yama, it means that a discipline has to be given to a highly sensitive and intelligent substance. Devoid of this complete understanding, it shall merely become a breathing exercise, of course, a rhythmic one, but bereft of the energy component, which is the foremost considerant of pranayama. So, having said that much, now what are you supposed to do before you start your japa? The count of the pranayama, that is the breathing can be from 1 to 3. It would depend upon your availability, affordability of time at hand. If you have adequate time, you may go on to 3. And if you do not have time, there is paucity of time with you, then confine yourself to merely one breathing, one breath. That's enough. Otherwise, go on to 3. Now, what do you have to do in this? What is the purpose of it? The purpose of it is to instill the elixir of prana from this universe through your nostrils in the form of an incoming breath, with the strong intent that I am invoking prana from all over, everywhere, wherever it is. Where is prana? It's everywhere. It is almost, it can be termed, it is omnipresent. So the omnipresent prana has to be invoked through a strong intent through your nostrils, and as you perform this exercise, the intention must travel all along with it. That yes, I'm invoking a highly intelligent and sensitive substance of energy within myself, which is an abundant store of energy. It is coming into me, and now, right from the tip of this bone, it is now spreading all over into my head and furthering down into my neck, all over through the lungs, chest, back, stomach, hips, legs, feet, everywhere. It's in your entirety. That strong observation is very important. If you don't have that strong observation, the incoming prana may be invoked but shall not be able to accomplish unless it is guided, well navigated. So you have to experience that through a strong intent guiding your imagination. Is it imagination? Yes, of course, yes. Initially, you have to imagine that happening. Once that imagination shall cherish, things will start happening into you, and you will be able to feel the difference within your own physical dimension. You don't need anyone else's to come and approve with some testimony. You will withstand yourself as a testimony to that. So, with a strong intent, guide the prana and let it pervade all over in your entirety. Just feel it, observe it. While it's incoming, it's spreading all along. So things are happening simultaneously. Strong intent invoking prana, prana incoming, you're observing, you're following it through, you're flowing with it, and while the breath is still continuing to come in, you have now started experiencing it spreading all over. By the time your incoming, your intake of the breath, inhalation, is complete, one inhalation is complete, you are now soaked, you have soaked the prana in your total existence. Now comes a little interlude for the retention of the breath, that is kumbhaka. And it is going to be a very small interlude, not a prolonged one. You don't have to force yourself that I must go on to hold my breath. No, that will spoil the curry. Don't do that. So retain it only to the duration when you find that I can easily now even release my breath without falling short of the next breath. So everything has to be in harmony. Initially, you may require one, two, or maybe 10 times to practice it and get adapted to the new rhythmic cycle of the breathing along with the strong intention. But later on, it's going to be at absolute ease with you. So when you retain the breath, that incoming breath, the intake, inhalation, with a strong intent. Now, in the second phase, observe within yourself with strong intent that elixir, that amrit is all over into your existence, and it is now diffusing. It has diffused. It has nullified all kind of venom and unwanted toxicity, maybe at the end of thoughts, maybe end of your memory, maybe end of your physical dimension, the form of certain ailment, toxicity at all levels of your existence, your mental, physical, all. So the toxicity has been diffused, has been brushed aside. And if at all there is any residual toxicity left within you, when you release your breath, then have a strong observation that through your nostril, with the exhalation, all toxicity is now getting released out of your nostril in the form of black clouds, as if some soot, black soot, is now coming out of your nostrils as a smoke, and you're releasing it. And when you release it, just give a small pause considering I have the elixir, the amrit instilled within my existence. It is done. Yes, when you were listening to me, probably you may have thought that incorporating all this in one single breath, do I have that much time at hand? Can I be able to hold on my breath to that extent? Yes, you shall. By all ease, you shall. As I said, you may require around a practice for not more than 10 times, which is very easy. Then, after that, you shall be adept, that rhythmic, that rhythm along with the strong intent, and whatever has to be accomplished shall be very much instilled into you. And then, without any problem, without any kind of a trouble or restlessness, you will be able to perform this, whatever is mentioned, within seconds. Within seconds, I mean, whatever time you will require to inhale, then to retain it, to sweep toxicity, and then the time that you require to release your breath and retain for not more than 2 seconds. With outward exhalation, the retention outward has to be not more than 2 seconds. That will suffice. So, when your mind gets adept to follow the instruction of your intent, then it shall happen within you within a very short period of time. So, this is going to make one pranayama. Likewise, if you have time at hand, then you may go on for the second cycle and then accordingly to the third one. But not necessary that you start with three right in the beginning. You may start with only one. And even if you continue with one cycle, that's enough. That suffices the purpose. Because that will bring your concentration to one particular point where you should be able to consider yourself in a state where lot of unwanted and unwarranted in the form of substance or subtle has now been released out of you, and now you're prepared for that spiritual pursuit of an exalted order, of a higher order. So you will be much prepared for that. So I hope you have understood it. You may go on to replay this particular video in order to gather if there is any miss while understanding my words. Now, the second ritual, which shall conclude the Kriya part before Japa, is offering your deepest gratitude to whom? By paying an obeisance to the Mother Earth. the Mother Earth, whatever you possess or have or use in the form of matter, where does it come from? It comes from the Mother Earth. Do you hold anything in the form of any matter which is not from Mother Earth? No, you don't hold anything. Whatever you have in the form of matter, it owes its existence to Mother Earth and Mother Earth alone. Whether it is silicon, whether it is fabrics, whether it is plutonium, whether it is nickel, whether it is gold, whether it is paper, whether it is leather. You go on naming items, you go on naming them. From anything to everything, from the most constructive to most destructive, it owes its existence only and only from Mother Earth and none else. So, unless you pay your highest gratitude to this living God, who is the living God? The living God is the Mother Earth before you. Unless you pay your deepest gratitude towards your Mother Earth, you will not be able to accomplish. You will be a person who will be merely your centric aspect shall be confined to your own individual self. So, you have to open up before you enter into a spiritual exercise. Before entering into a spiritual exercise, you must open up. And to open up, expression of gratitude in almost all the religion is considered as very important. And you also should accept that and do accordingly. So, how do you express your gratitude to Mother Earth? In the form of a ritual, since everything is being dispensed by a single mode, which is water and nothing else. So, take a little water in your hand, offer it upon wherever you're sitting, right up front. If you're sitting on the floor, right up front on the floor, offer some water there, little water to the Mother Earth in the form of your strong emotion that, Mother, I am offering my deepest gratitude to you. I have been quite oblivion to the fact that anything and everything in the form of matter, whatever I use or possess, is through you. You are the only source. And I have never thought about it to pay my gratitude to you. This will not only help you to open up through gratitude, but also a sense of a higher awareness towards this planet where we are living upon. What about the global warming and so many dangers which have come down, which have been brought by the mankind, thoughtfully brought by the mankind? So that will open you up towards a higher awareness to save your planet as well. We all keep on listening certain facts in our life, go on continuing for decades together, but we seldom become serious towards them. So, offering deep gratitude to Mother Earth is a ritual which is called as Prithvi Pujanam. We offer a little water, and then from that water, with this ring finger, we take some water and apply over here, the water being applied as a tilak. It's a kind of a strong observation that we have touched your feet, and here we observe, give you the highest regard, with the highest sense of awareness. You apply it over here, and then you proceed with your japa. These two rituals today, namely the one which was pranayama, and the second is Prithvi Pujanam, which was very simple but very important. You can then proceed on towards your japa. These rituals, as it was informed to you, are going to help you to gather yourself from your all those fragmentations which your awareness otherwise is apportioned to, and you are unaware about them. You don't know where all you are at any given point of time. You have no stock. You know everything about many people, most of the people. You may be knowing something about your own financial portfolio, but you have no stock, no idea, no audit about your awareness, where you are apportioned, assigned at any given point of time. So these kriyas are going to bring your awareness to one focal point. I hope you will be able to observe them Watch the video once again in order to clarify. And if you are not able to understand, email me at info@dineshji.com, DINESHJI, jalandharindia.com. If anything is not clear, you can email me over there. So, having said so, we are done for this particular episode. From the next episode, we will start the japa, and then further onwards, we will also embark upon the meaning of the Gayatri Mahamantra and then other important relevant details of Gayatri. Any and every information which I'm sharing to my limited capacity is sourced to my Brahma Rishi. Having said that, ओम ही सत्य है, ओम ही सत्य है, ओम ही सत्य है.